Hello, hello. I'm only doing a live because I need to keep on going. I got 10 minutes on the camera, not enough space, so I had to go online, let YouTube record me. You can tell by the title what's going on. I don't know nobody's here, okay, but these record, so I'm just gonna go ahead and you know just talk about what I'm talking about. And if you can watch it later, you watch this later. That's good for you. So let me get right into it. I made a video. I'm gonna post that. Don't know when. I'm gonna post it. Hold on. So you know I'm broke. I found a dime. Anyways, uh, I was talking about in the video um, how I've been living my life literally like for like past month, taking this. I'm running out too, which is kind of scaring the shit out of me too. Like I don't know. Doesn't that scare you? Like when you're cisgendered, you don't have to. You can just work. You just do what you want to do, right? On your own shit, and you don't have to worry about like, oh my god, like I don't have like a testosterone shot. Like what the fuck? It's crazy. But then like when you're trans, it's like, oh my god, I'm running out of my estrogen pills. I need to get them bitches. It's just I don't know. I can't even find it right now. Fuck it. But yeah, it's they have three left, and I'm just like, fuck. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do anymore. And what am I talking about? Yes, I do. I'm sorry. Speaking randomly, rambling here. I'm monologuing, but no, it's been like it hasn't been super hard actually. It's been quite well. It's been quite well when it comes to the hormones and everything. You know, like it's just that there's been so many changes, and it's not just like what you think before you take hormones, or if you're an outsider looking in, you know what I mean, to the trans community, like a trend, and you're thinking like, oh, like they just feel like a girl or something like that. I wish I could show you guys right now, but I can't because my phone's charging. That's why it's not here. I'm using my tablet for the live. It's a weird thing, but yeah, this is part of the movie called Just Charlie. It's on Tubi too. It's a UK movie, and long story short, it's about a boy who realizes he's trans and can't hide it anymore, and he's a pre-tween or whatever, and his family is having a hard time dealing with it. His community is having a hard time dealing with it. That's essentially what the movie's about. Um, more of a drama. It's more of a drama. But there's one part in the movie where their sister, is at school with her friend, and her friend just talking mad shit about her new transgender sister. And so, like, she's all like, it's in his mind, is what he thinks of himself. I was like, fuck, bitch, fuck you. Like, it's deeper than that. It's just so weird. And that, I know, that's the hardest shit. Like, that right there be the hardest shit, when you don't. Oh, it's so hard. When you don't, like, you can't. It's hard to explain it. You just don't have the tools. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying. It's like you are who you are, but your body is running off of testosterone. I don't know how to explain that shit. And it's like it changes the way you do things. Like you're more attracted to women, you know what I'm saying? Like all this type of shit, But when you start going on the estrogen, it's like you're gonna want to start slowly but surely. You're gonna get more and more attracted to men because you're gonna be getting more emotionally intelligent. Well, if you're an emotionally mature person to begin with, you're gonna become more emotionally intelligent when you're on hormones. You know what I'm saying? And it's you start to relate towards women more, and you kind of see, right, like the nature of women on that aspect, and it's kind of like it's kind of disgusting. It's kind of like, ooh, bitch, no, like, because you don't want to take that role as like the savior, if that makes sense, because it's like you already know, like, bitch, what are we doing? You know, what are we doing? And so that's kind of the situation I'm dealing with, where it's like I look at, you know, women now, and it's like I started to like my coworker. She was pregnant, what I mean, and she just left recently, but when she was there, it's like I started to connect to her more emotionally. Before it was like she would say shit, I would kind of dismiss it, wouldn't understand it, whatever, it just kind of flew over my head. But now you pick up on so many like subtle emotional cues. You just pick up on emotions, and you know where somebody's at emotionally, and that shit's like it's I don't know, it's something else. It's just like, okay, like, so I can't like mess with women like that anymore, because I know what women want. I know what women are doing, like, all that shit. It's like, I connect more to women now that I actually want to have sex with them on that adoration and adoring. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the 40-year-old virgin. He was like watching that porno and he fell asleep and had a dream and he was like, I don't know, it was him as a porn star. And he was like, "You want to have sex with me?" Or something like, he's like, "Because I am you, Andy." Like, that's how I feel like. It's like, ugh. Like, he woke up like, ugh. Like, exactly. Like, that's how I feel about women right now. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, mentally, like, it's just like, oh no, I'm just like you guys. I relate to women more, not because like, oh, I'm trying to relate or want to relate. It's just I kind of relate to women more, because I deal with this shit. Now that kind of brings me to like the actual story of like this video and why I made the video in the first place. Because I really want to talk about this guy that I felt like he tried to rape me. Right? That's how I felt like he was trying to rape me. But I don't know. I've heard from other trans women, usually older trans women, that transition later in life, so they have more of a tranny look. You know what I'm saying? Like I found out that a lot of guys that are attracted to us, they want us to top them, and that shit is just like, I don't know. That's just the weirdest shit. It's so weird. It's so fucking random. It's so fucking random. And then the funny thing is, like, it's crazy because like we can't do that shit. Like, I can't even get it up if I wanted to. Like, and it's weird. It's like I need like specific shit to make me turned on. Like, I can't like just be. I can't take anything. Like when I was a guy, like it didn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like as a guy, it's like you if you feel any like ounce of horniness, any ounce of arousal, you can take that shit. You know what I'm saying? And work with it. You can water it down. You can add some seasonings. You can add some flour to that mug. You know what I'm saying? Make something out of it. But like, nah. As a running on estrogen in my body right now is like I cannot do that shit. It has to be the whole package. It has to be the whole thing. It has to be what I want. It has to be what I want. I gotta be craving roast beef sandwiches to eat. I can't just eat. I can't just do anything. I just like, you know. So it's really ironic on that level. Like, I can't just do that shit now. And so like when I look at women now, like I'm more hyperly critical about the chicks that I'm like, okay, I choose to be attracted to. You know, you know. And for some reason, I am kind of boy crazy. I am attracted to guys like crazy though, but it's just at the same time like it's a love hate relationship. Like I'm attracted to guys like a motherfucker. I love guys. I love their energy. I just love their energy because I get like sometimes I get a little bit aroused by guys like, and it's not has to do with physical appearance, and then it's just like how they make me feel. If they make me feel like I'm taken care of, if they make me feel like you know, they care about me, then that's when I'm fucking like, okay, that's when I'm like, I get like, I don't know, this like giddy, like happy feeling, this warm feeling, and it's kind of central. It's like when a guy loves up on me, I want to love up. When a guy loves up on me, I want to love up on him back. You know, and that's kind of how I feel. That's kind of how I feel about the situation. So it's like this guy, I was at a park just kind of like this. I'm at a baseball court or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, so like I'm on the east side too. It's crazy. Anyways, so some guy, you know, came up to me as I was sitting on a bench, kind of like this. It was late as fuck at night, and I knew I should have never stayed out that late, but I did. I don't know. I was just watching TV on my tablet. It was my off day, So I was really chilling. I was really, 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 really chilling. And so, like, I knew it was getting late, but I wasn't in the hood though. I was in like in a suburban like area, you know, um, and that shit was just like it was so weird. It was so weird, you know. I was in a suburban area, and I don't know. I mean, it was in like A Leaf, A Leaf is, you know what I'm saying? So, but it wasn't like it was in the outskirts where the nice houses are. So, long story short, I'm just chilling there, my own business, and then he comes up to me and sits right next to me. Mind you, there's like a lot of benches. I mean, like like you see how there's benches and shit, like benches all over the fucking place. Like that's how this shit was. Like, and he chose to sat right next to me. I was like, what the fuck? That shit scared me because he had like a fucking hoodie on. Dark skinned black dude. I'm 6'2", and he was taller than me. You know what I mean? Which kind of turned me on, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. And then so like he sat right next to me, and I was like, what the fuck? And I just immediately I was like, oh, the alarms are gonna go off. I started like, and that was when I knew the estrogen literally took over my brain. It was the weirdest shit I have ever felt in my life because I am not that motherfucker. I'm gonna go ahead and say I am not that type of nigga. I'm not. I'm really not. Like that shit was wild for me. Like I was like, what the fuck? Like I'm scared of men, and it's just I don't like when I get like this. You know what I mean? Like I get scared of men. And I think it's because I was in my divine feminine in my mind. Like I was like watching like female shows, comedy shows, and boss babe shows, things like that that made me just feel good. And I don't know. The next thing you know, it was like this dude in the middle. I knew I was getting late, like, but I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not in a bad area. And this fucking dude, and they say like in Houston, you can get it anywhere in Houston. It don't matter if you're in the suburbs, or you're in a nice area, bad area, you can get shot, you can get robbed. And so I was like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh God, I've gotten robbed before. You know what I'm saying? And so I just didn't want to get shot. So I was like, fuck. And I really didn't want to give him my shit either. So I was like, fuck. And my fucking dumbass was charging all my shit. I had my fucking tablet, my portable chargers, my laptop, all this shit, my wallet. I just went to the fucking corner store and had like 2 slushies are sitting out because it's hot as fuck out here. Like, oh my God, like I had all this shit and it was like, oh man. And then I got caught up, I was like, fuck, I got caught up. Man, guess what? So I wanted to suck my dick. Like I said, a lot of trans women, I think older trans women deal with this more. Women that transition later in life, they look more tranny-ish. And so the guys that are attracted to trannies usually just go after like the whole top me type shit. I don't know. And that shit's just to me, it's not bad. I'm not like angry at it. I don't dislike it because like I said, as a guy, I was always a top, and I kind of still have that mentality. But it's just I don't feel like doing that right now because my penis is not hard all the time anymore. Like I can't just get it up. That's just not happening. I'm so unsexual. Like I literally went from masturbating like probably 3, 4, 5 times a day, maybe just at least once, a day. To like now, I don't do that shit at all. Like I don't even remember the last time I really like was like, oh man, I'm so horny. I gotta do this. Like I don't feel that way anymore. Now it's kind of like just for fun. Like if I really want to just have fun, I'll do it. But it takes so much energy away from me. It's not like a guy where you can jack off. Maybe sit down for like 10 minutes and get your ass back up and go run a mile. It's like now I'm just like, fuck. If I do that shit, I'm done. I'm done. Like for at least a good hour. I need to chill. I need to fucking go hydrate. I need to like, eat something with nutrients and shit. It's like crazy. I think it's because I'm not producing that much sperm anymore. And so that's why it's like, fuck, I can't, I can't do all this shit, you know? So I get all my shit up. I pack my shit up real fucking quick because when I told him, oh, the alarm is gonna go off at 10 o'clock, and it's late out here, and so like, the alarm's gonna go off. We shouldn't be here. Motherfucker was like, "What is that supposed to mean?" And that shit scared the shit out of me. I was like, "Oh, okay." He came with the confidence, and that shit scared the shit out of me. Like, I just felt like he was literally that. I felt like I was raping. Where it's like, motherfucker, what? Like, oh my god, like raping words. Like, I was like, rapist, no, like rape. So I just immediately was like, oh, okay. Started just packing up all my shit in my backpack as fast as I possibly could. Didn't even close that, just kind of clamped it together and grabbed my shit and just like was walking away. And then dude started walking behind me and shit. I got so fucking scared. But then like I had to like, okay, stop being a bitch, like, And that's when I fucking put my shit down. I was like, what's up, bro? What you want to do? And he was like, hey, is your dick big? And that's when I was just like, I don't know. Because, it was like, get the fuck away from me. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, just get the fuck away from me. And then he fucking just like, he turned around and walked away. And then I fucking turned around the other direction and then walked away. And I started running and shit. And then like, I cried for a little bit, but then I was like, fuck. Like, it was just so weird. I was like, what the fuck? He just scared the shit out of me. It was like, he scared the living shit out of me. He looked scary. So he looked like he was about to fuck me up. I was like, oh God. You know what I mean? That scared the shit out of me. But, all right, this is about to get really fucking deep, and you're probably going to hate me for this shit, but it is what it is, right? So, I don't know how to explain this shit. Where do I start? I feel like that happened for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, when I was a teenager, when I was a young adult, my first year in college, I'm not gonna lie, I was going, how to explain this shit? It's so hard. I don't even know how to explain what I'm saying because I don't know what I was even doing. But I had so much insecurities about being a man, about like, not like transgender, but like at the time, like I wanted to be a man, like, and I was trying to be a man, like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, I got into college and it was like everybody was making fun of people for like not having sex and like, you know how it is, like, you're still a virgin, bro, what the fuck, all that dude bro shit. And it was like, I don't know. And then I took it, for me in my religion, and I, like, not like, are you gay? Like, are you actually gay? But like gay, like on some like you're a weak man, like you can't get no women and shit. It was like that type of shit. And so like I don't know, like it kind of got to me, and that's when incel shit. Because I remember when I was in college, that first year, that's when Elliot Rodgers fucking shot up the school and all this shit, and incels became a whole thing. And so it was like I was coping with the fact that I was an incel. You know what I'm saying? And so when Elliot Rodgers did that shit and everybody was like, it's like it depended on how you felt. And I ain't gonna lie, based off how I felt, because I got rejected by so many girls. In college, I got embarrassed by girls. I mean, I remember trying to go out with this one girl, chatting her up. We were like talking, hanging out. I come to find out she's like the college hoe. You know how some girls go to college and they just give it up to every single guy. I found out she was giving up to every single guy, and everybody's laughing in my face and shit. And so it was shit like that. And I just felt, I fucking made love songs for a chick and shit, like, and played that shit in front of people, bro. It was embarrassing. Like, that shit fucked me up. And so I realized how incel I really was. That shit was bad. Y'all don't understand. Like, that shit happened to me. And so, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that kind of like made me angry inside. It turned me into one of those angry incels that want to like kill women and hate women. Like, I was like, when I heard what happened to Elliot Rodgers, I literally was like, I know this is bad, but I agree with what he did. Like, and I don't now, but like back in that time, when your hormones are just like raging, you're a young man, and all you want to do is fucking procreate. Like, that's what you're meant to do at that particular time. Like, and you're out of high school, you're not with your parents anymore. Fuck yeah, you're gonna be fucking sexually frustrated and annoyed, and then you're dealing with your own manhood, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And so that's what I was dealing with at the time, and it kind of led me to like following girls in my campus because these girls were wearing like, I mean, it's even when I was last in Austin, I was, around Texas Tech University and shit. Why are these girls wearing like booty shorts and the thigh highs, or why they just look? But I'm not gonna lie, that college first year age or whatever for females, I don't know what it is. The titties is the most perkiest, they're the most prettiest. Like like you don't even have to be pretty at that age. It's crazy, but yeah. So I just started following girls around the campus. Like if I saw a girl I was attracted to, I would just follow her. And that's crazy to do that. Like that's so like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So this one time I followed this chick, and I got like, I don't know if it finally happened. I wanted to like, I don't even know, but I wanted to do something. So I got closer and closer, and I was like right behind this chick. It was late as fuck at night, and I was following her to her dorm, and I was basically going to the girls' dorm area. It's like, what was I doing? Like that was rapey. And it's like, I don't know, like, but I knew I was fucking up. But the excitement, I'm just seeing this fine ass chick. Like, it was, I don't know. And so like, she turned around because I got too close. I was like right behind her, right out of the front door of her fucking dorm. She turned around and started screaming and shit. And it's like, what the fuck? But she was a boss ass bitch because she was ready to fight. And she was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And I just like, just stared at her. I was just staring at her and shit. She looked really beautiful and shit. And then I just ran away. I turned around and I ran away. I think she cursed me out as I was walking away. But she was scared. I remember hearing her voice as I was walking away. She was like extremely scared. She was like, what the fuck was that? Like, that's how I felt. And that shit had me fucked up. Like, my mind was like, I don't even know what the words to describe that shit. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, that shit had me like, wow. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, every day I go to work, I get off of work, I go to this like bus stop, and there's a lady. She doesn't ever sit at the bus stop when I'm at the bus stop. She always sits way off. I get off work at night. So I think the reason why is because she's scared, And I'm like, fuck. And at first I was thinking like a few months back before I took estrogen and shit like that, right? Even though it's reflection, I was like, why the fuck, is she doing that shit? Weird. Like, come sit down. Like, you tripping. I'm not gonna hurt you. What the fuck? But I realized it's not because I'm black. It's because I'm a guy. It's because I'm a male. That's what she'd be scared of me. And it's like, I understand that feeling now. And it's just, I don't even know the word to describe it. Is irony the word to describe it? Like, I don't know. Let's read some of these comments. You guys are commenting. What is this? You're weird. What the hell? I see you got a couple of smooth brains in the chat. LOL. Hope your days is going great. It's all right now. I'm chilling. Felix said, Mister. Okay. Somebody said gross. I guess. What's a trans? Somebody said cap. Okay. Somebody said always the big ones. What the fuck? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. But anyways, I guess we're here. Thanks for being here, and we'll continue talking about this. It's not gonna be too long. I'm not gonna be here for like hours and shit or whatever. I just had to get it off my chest, and I couldn't record it because fucking device got too much shit on it. So I got like 11 minutes on there. So I came on live so I could talk to you guys about this. Because yeah, we're gonna be changing really soon because I'm trying to take this a little more seriously. Because I just don't know. But it's not what people think. Like, I feel like it's just, you gotta watch that movie Just Charlie on Tubi. Like, exactly what the fuck. You said it was weird. Road Boy, Murda. That's a confident name. Yeah. The fuck? I feel like that scene from the movie Just Charlie on Tubi. You should watch it when he's trans. And he's talking to his dad, and he's like, "Dad's like, you gotta take off those clothes. You have your clothes. This is weird." And he was like, "No, Dad, it's not. Wait, Dad, it's not weird. It's not weird. It's not what you think." That's how I feel like. It's not weird. It's not what you think. He said, "It's not weird, Dad. It's not what you think." It's really not though. But I don't know what to say. Like that shit just was the weirdest shit. What I think about when I hear that story, comparing my situation of almost getting raped to me almost raping a girl and shit when I was, you know, mind you, the motherfucker was young. He thought I was in my 20s because I'm taking the hormones, so I look young. But like, no, like he was in his 20s, early 20s. It's always those guys in their early 20s. They always end up raping somebody because they have all these hormones built up. And the fact that he was taller than me, and I'm pretty tall. Like I go around the world, nobody ever is taller than me. I'm always the tallest person in the room. So for him to be taller than me, fucked me up. Like that shit had me like, what the fuck? Like, what in the Great Goose? Like, this shit was ordained. I feel like it was like honestly, that was like God is trying to show me some shit type shit. Like, it was just I don't know. I don't even know the word to describe how I feel. It's so weird. It's just like I can't believe that shit happened to me. You know what I mean? Like I can't believe both situations happened to me. Like I can't believe I did that to a female. I kind of feel like that's what I get. You know, like I used to even like when I was super into incel shit. I used to look up like court cases where like guys got off for raping women or some shit. Like they raped the women, the women were crying and the court case and all that shit. And like dude got off. Sometimes they didn't get off. But I would always see that shit. And I would always I didn't watch it to see if they like went to jail or didn't go to jail. I watched it because I wanted to see their reactions. Like, and a lot of them did not give a fuck about like nothing. It's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. Like these guys are just like they raped like all these women. They went to like they just went around town just raping women or some shit, breaking into their house and raping them. They finally caught the serial rapist, and then like all the women are here to testify, and they're like, I hope he gets raped by somebody in jail, like he raped us or some shit. And that shit was like, oh my god, And now I see that shit now, but at the time, like, get the fuck out of here, like. Motherfucker was looking angry as fuck. Like he didn't give a fuck. And I know that mentality too, and that's what makes it so like, oh God, like it's something else. You know, it's almost like being a newborn Christian. You know, you did all that stuff, and you were in the mindset at the time, and then like now you look back and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like that's just crazy. But yeah, that's what that was. Anyways, that was a story I really wanted to tell because I really need to get that off my chest. Uh, I don't know. But now I'm going through so many changes that it's like I just don't know. Like I don't want to take the pills anymore. People are talking about because I go on the internet a lot and I go on Reddit and find out information, and I'm like, honestly, it's at a point where I'm kind of like I'm considering every option. Like somebody's telling me like I heard from a trans girl go to the gym, find the buffest guy in there, and start asking me does he take steroids or some shit. Like what the fuck? I try to go to like private gyms, find guys that are like roided the fuck up, and ask them where they get hormones, and then like what I mean, they get steroids, and they can probably fucking get some hormones and shit for you. Black market. Um, I've also heard like there's like a lot of countries overseas they produce this shit. There's certain scientists that are overseas that produce this shit. You know what I'm saying? And they can sell to you. It's just crazy because it makes you feel like what? Hell no! Like hell no! It's just kind of scary. It's kind of scary. I don't want to go the traditional route at this point. I don't even think I want to do that shit because I see all these trans women that come into my fucking store, and it's like, man, how the fuck? Now I'm thinking maybe because they go to the Memorial Hermann Hospital and it's probably have Planned Parenthood in there, and they probably get a consent doctor or whatever. It's just that I don't know. I'm thinking about taking that route too, but like I want to try the real estrogen. I'm looking for because I'm already taking estrogen right now. It's just that it's not the best form. It's not the strongest form to actually change my like body and shit. But it's like my mind is not attached to my body anymore. It's just I don't recognize me because I'm willingly and wanting to look more feminine. It's like I can't like I don't know. I just look in the mirror and I'm just like, who the fuck is this? Like this is not what I want. You know, it's as simple as almost like just you guys just changing your shirt, changing your clothes. You know how it is. Maybe you went to like somewhere, you wear a suit and tie or some shit or a dress, and now you're back at home. And imagine wearing that uptight shit still. It's like you like, what the fuck? Like, can I take this off? And then like somebody's like, you can't take it off. You're gonna be like, what the fuck? I'm taking this shit off. Fuck that shit. And that's how I feel like when it comes to this. Like, you know, like I feel like, fuck you guys. I'm taking this shit off. So that's kind of what it is, you know, for me right now. It's just that's how I feel like, you know, I have a lot of insecurities when it comes to things, and it's just like I said, I'm at a point where I'm getting tired of being treated like a guy, you know, so much. Like I need, you know, some support. Like I can validate myself, but I need some validation. I'm not gonna lie. I need the validation because what's the point of living? You know, who wants to sit in the corner all day to themselves and just you know what I mean? Like play fucking spades with themselves and shit. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to sit in the corner all day and play tic tac toe by themselves? Like the shit's boring. Like life's meant for you to fucking you know, we're humans, we're meant to fucking we're social creatures. We're meant to do that. We're meant to socialize. And so I don't want to sit in these areas because I know there's a lot of people out there that support trans people, that love and support us. They're attracted to us. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people. I know there is. You know, and even if they want to just have sex, even if they want to just do that, you know, as for example, in the guy's case, like all he, if I could have taught him some shit, he's a younger dude anyways. Too hell yeah, like that's not how you go to a female. That's not how you deal with a female. Like I know you're horny and shit, you're excited, but you don't have to do that. All you have to do is just love up on a female. At least for me, like I don't know, for me, all you have to do is love up on me. Like you don't have to buy me shit necessarily, all the shit. Just love, just make sure I'm okay. I mean, just you can just talk to me and just ask me, am I okay? What's going on in my life? Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, ask me what I'm dealing with. Like, I like those, and that's why I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's why one of my you know exes or whatever, Trey. I don't know if he watches this or not. That motherfucker. That's why he fucking fucked me so many times because like the motherfucker literally like fuck out of here. Like he knew how to treat me. He knew how to fucking like okay like he knew how to have a good time with me. Like he knew how to chill like and just have a good time. You know, a lot of these people don't know how to do that shit. Okay, Nerf. Hell yeah, that's true. That's true. Shit. But I don't know if y'all heard that school bell. It might be coming out here. I might have to leave. Uh, but yeah. Shoot, I forgot where I was even at. Yeah, I don't even like thinking about it to be honest. You know about what happened. It was way back when I was young. That's when I first started college. I had to be like 19, 20. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like 19, 20. You know, I was like 19, 20 years old. That shit was so, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I feel like I just had something to prove, I had to prove that I was a man, because I'm an adult, and I wanted to prove my independence, you know. That's kind of what that was, really. And it ended up going that way because toxic masculinity, of course, what I'm saying? But you don't know because you're thinking toxic masculinity is what you're supposed to be, right? But no, I would say toxic masculinity would make sense in the past, right? But not nowadays. There's no reason for it. You know, nowadays it just shows you're just a whiny baby as a guy. You know, I don't even know what to say. I just look at my dad, right? 63 years old. God rest his soul. Um, and it's like, dude was a boomer, like, what I'm saying, a thoroughbred boomer. My dad was the dad to like wear the overalls and shit. He was a fucking boomer. Very old school. Always wore like like dressy ass shit. I don't know how to explain that shit. Like, like the button down like shirts and like the nice cuff slacks with the penny loafers and shit. He always wore shit like that with the fucking hat with the leaf on that shit. Like fucking old school as fuck. And it's like, yeah, like I can understand him having this like toxic masculinity. Like, that's why before he died, like we didn't really get along that much because like I was coming into myself and he kind of realized that, you know, because every time I take like these hormones or whatever, like my body goes through like changes and I start to look more female or whatever. And then like people know, because like when I was in Austin, I didn't talk to my family for a fucking year. I was gone for a whole year. And they saw that, oh, he's been taking estrogen, like this motherfucker. Because even my little brother looks older than me. That's how weird that shit is. Like, my little brother looks older than me. He looks more like a man than I do. And that's what I realized. And, like, I'm going to just say this. When I figured out when I was gay, I was like 10, 11, 12, possibly 13, I would say. I would want to say 14, but I don't really want to go that far. And I'm gonna go on to a tangent right now because I'm getting thoughts, and I'm starting to realize around that age, I really was like gay and didn't even know it. Because I remember being like 10, and I'm telling myself, I'm gonna start playing with. I'm gonna start. I told my brother, my older brother, I'm gonna stop playing with dolls when I turn 11 years old. That was weird. And then when I hit 11 years old, I remember telling him that I watched gay porn before. Like, my dad had internet, and he was like, that's when we were like, this when he was doing what he was doing illegally to make all this money. And so a lot of people didn't have cable, a lot of people didn't have internet in their house. And I was like 11 years old. So, I mean, this is what, like 20 years ago? At this point, this is like 20 years ago, early 2000s. So, a lot of people didn't have internet in their house like that, a computer or anything. We had computers, two computers, you know. So I remember going on there and looking up gay porn, and then telling my older brother, because he was like my best friend because we shared the room together, and so like I remember telling him like, oh, I was looking at gay porn, and I was in the thought of like, what if I'm gay, or something. I told my brother that shit, and he was like, okay, so what'd you find? And I was like, I realized I cannot be gay. Like, I'm not gay. Like, I had multiple times this shit happened to me, like where I was like, no, I'm not. I've said it so many times. It's so crazy. It's like that's why it's like I don't talk to my family anymore because like no, they knew I was gay. You know, I think a lot of people knew I was gay. I just didn't. You know, I just didn't know, and that shit was so fucking sad. But anyways, yeah. So it was like I remember that, and then when I turned like 13, that's when like I popped my first cherry, my own cherry. Like I'm stuffing shit in there, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. I was stuffing shit in there, you know what I'm saying? And I bled a lot, but like yeah, I popped my own fucking cherry type shit. It's crazy. And then like in my back of my mind, I'm not gay, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not doing something inherently gay. And then like 10 years later, right? I come out because I'm forced to come out. Like I end up having sex with a guy, like real sex with a guy, intercourse, and it was like fuck, and that's when I knew it was like fuck yeah, like I'm gay, and it's kind of the same thing with being trans. Like 10 years ago, in my early 20s, or whatever, late teens, I was thinking about all these thoughts about becoming more feminine, not even really feminine. Like when I was in high school and I was like 18, 19, graduating and shit, like I literally was thinking about. That's when I was getting to Rasta, and that's why in spirituality. And so I just always believed that people should have long hair, whether you're a man or a woman. Like it's not a gender thing; it's just genetics. We have long hair. People grow hair. You know what I mean? Um, but I'm gonna bring it back into society and say this: that like, no, I was socialized in society. So like, the reason why I want to have long hair is not because I feel like a Rasta or I feel like a fucking Viking or some shit. It's because you want to look feminine. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. And so that's what I had to realize. And if I take it even further back, I remember when I was a kid and putting the fucking, there's so many different like little gay things and transgender things that we did back when we were younger. We didn't like know, but maybe you saw in a movie or somebody related to you, and you were like, yes, like putting the fucking the shirt over your fucking head and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like you put the little shirt over your head, and you like pretend like it's long hair and shit. Like I did that shit. I did that shit when I was younger. I don't want to get too deep into my secrets. I have a lot of weird shit. I did a lot of weird shit. I'm a weird person on that level, but it's just a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. You know what I'm saying? That's all it really is. It's a lot of confusion. But I'm gonna say this also: a lot of Africans are like that. They have this like there's Africans. I don't know. I remember hearing a story. My mom told me like this couple or whatever, was African couple. They were like brother and sister, and they didn't know. They stayed in this like it was because like they stayed in two different villages or some shit. Villages, right? It's like communities in America. You know what I mean? But anyways, they stayed in like two different villages, but they had like the same mom and dad or same dad or some shit, and they didn't know. But then they made each other fall in love, and the mom found out that like you know what I mean, or some shit like that. It was crazy. And so I was like, what the fuck? Like it's shit like that happens a lot in like Africa. Like just like just very underdeveloped shit. Like they'll fucking they still not all Africans, but like they have this mentality of like you're a witch type shit. Like bring you at the stake because you have schizophrenia. That's what they're on. So that's why it's like oh hell nah. Some things are just oh hell nah. So you can understand being gay or transgender and shit. Like they're not gonna understand this shit like at all. They're gonna fucking be weirded out by that shit. They're gonna say this and that. Like my dad used to tell me I'm sick. I remember when I used to say like gay little comments or just weird shit, my dad would be like, "You're sick, you're sick," and I'm like, "Why would you tell a child they're sick? What does that mean?" He actually thought my dad's a boomer. He thought that I was actually like mentally ill and shit. Damn, like no, your kid's just gay. You know what I'm saying? But then you made him feel like he's fucking insane. Now he's gonna go probably be insane. Anyways, but yeah, that's what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a lot of that shit. But I don't care anymore. When it comes to shit, you just need some homegirls to hang with, lift you up, and include you. I do, Nerf. I do. I'm not gonna lie. I do. It's just that I don't. Not in my real life. I don't have anybody I can like talk to or deal with these emotions. I don't know. I hold so much in, so much. It's crazy. It's crazy sometimes. I have a problem being vulnerable too, because I don't know. See, that's what made me realize that I'm trans too. That kind of cracked a lot of, that was a lot of the cracks in my egg. It was like the fact that as a guy, I was very highly emotionally intelligent. You know, in my early 20s, and like none of my peers were like that. None of my peers were like that, so it wasn't like this conventional femininity that like I needed. You know, I didn't need to be conventionally feminine. I just needed to like be feminine. Does that make sense? I don't know. Going through so much, but yeah, you're right. You're right, Nerf. I really do. I need some homegirls. Uh, See, the problem with that is, are they gonna be cis or are they gonna be trans? And where do I fall in between that? And on top of all that, are they like super fucking girly Barbie girls? Or are they like tomboys? You know, because that's the whole mesh. Like that's why I've had like when I first came out. Well, yeah, when I first came out to one girl 10 years ago, when I like kind of had these feelings, transgender feelings or whatever. Like and I was exploring them. There's one girl, she's my coworker. She was helping me through it, but at the same time, like I just didn't like fucking with her because like she was so girly girl, and it was like fuck, I don't really want to do that, And she kind of talked shit about me. She was like, "Oh, you don't really act like a girl," and I was like, "Oh my god, like what is that?" Like, I'm not gonna act like a girl. I was socialized and conditioned to act like a guy my entire life. Motherfuckers is literally on my live right now calling me Mister, 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 just to fucking get a rise out of me. Like, what the fuck? you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. I just feel so insecure when it comes to that. Like, I just want to. I don't know. I just want to keep on physically transitioning until I feel comfortable with myself. You know. But I'm getting a lot of pent up emotions are just coming back. Like I said, it's like literally like all the timelines are colliding into one and just some shit. It's like Flashpoint or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm literally like I kind of think about it, and it's like right now, do I want to have like bottom surgery or some shit? And I don't really care about bottom surgery, right? But then like when I think about it, I do, and I do want that. But it's like, dude, why do I want that? And then I go back in my past and I realized, oh yeah, that's why I wanted it. It's like a desire. It's like if you wake up in the morning and you say to yourself, if I had a vagina, regardless of everything else, I'd be a woman. Period. It wouldn't even shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck how much the guy looks like a guy. I don't give a fuck if it's motherfucking Mike Tyson. If Mike Tyson has a vagina, to these, what I mean, to these gender critics, you're gonna be a female, and so that gives you the license to do whatever the fuck you want to do when it comes to being feminine energy, female energy, and so that desire has not went away. In fact, because I've suppressed it, and I've stopped drinking. Now I would say I've been sober. Well, I cut my fast, my alcohol fast. I've been drinking for the past like 3 4 days, and